What's up, nerds? It's Shane and Hunter again from Guys That Magic. Probably know that by now, though. And we're going to do another upgrade video like the last time. But this time, we're going to be doing Upgrades Unleashed. Hunter, what's coming at us in this Upgrades Unleashed deck? Because I literally have seen 0 cards. I don't know what it does, dude.
Well, it's great. So this one's actually super exciting. I'm sorry it took us so long to do this. We were busy. Had a bit of a vacation there for a while. But we're coming back at you with the $100 upgrade for Upgrades Unleashed. This is going to be revolving around Shishiro, the Shattered Blade. Now, the other commanders are cool. We'll talk about them in a minute. But this is the main commander. This one is what's going to be the helm of the deck. And he does some very cool stuff. So if you don't know, Shishiro, the Shattered Blade, is 2 a red and a green for a 4/4 legendary creature, Snake Samurai. States whenever an aura or equipment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 red spirit creature token with menace. Very cool. Not only that, at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each modified creature you control. That means creatures that already have +1/+1 counters, they have equipment attached to them, or they have auras on them.
Interesting. Okay.
So we're basing the deck around auras, equipment, and +1/+1 counters. This is a modified theme deck, and I think we got some really cool stuff to show you, and stuff that we need to remove.
Well, I mean, you said the word remove, dude, so I guess show me the cards that you're not stoked on that you're removing.
First off, we're going to be talking about the other new legendary creatures. We're removing both of them. The first one is Kaimi, the Fractured Calm, which is 2 a red and a green for a 3/3 legendary creature spirit. States at the beginning of your end step, goad each creature your opponents control that's enchanted by an aura you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on Kaimi for each creature goaded this way. It's really cool, but it's not. These 2 legendary creatures, what I'm really saying is they kind of want to helm their own deck. They don't really fit in the theme of the deck we're doing, because we just want equipment, we want auras, and I get it that the aura, but we don't want to enchant other people's stuff. We want to enchant our own stuff. We are, because Shishiro doesn't trigger if you enchant someone else's creature. It's not your creature. It's modified.
Gotcha.
The other one is Kosei, Penitent Warlord. Kosei is 1 and 2 green for a 0/5 legendary creature, Ogre Samurai. Says as long as Kosei is enchanted, equipped, and has a counter on it, it has whenever Kosei deals combat damage to an opponent, you draw that many cards, and Kosei deals that much damage to each other opponent. Very cool, but again, cool. I think you could helm. It can helm its own deck there, and it's very specific to have it enchanted, equipped, and have a counter on it to do something.
A lot of stuff. That's putting the pants on, dude.
Put the pants on Kosei. Exactly. We just don't want to do that. So these 2 new legendaries, very cool cards on their own, not going in our 99.
Bummer. What else? What else are we removing?
The next set of cards, they're just way too expensive. There's a huge mana curve on this. First one, Collision of Realms. That's 6 and a red for a sorcery. It says each player shuffles all creatures they own into their library. Each player who shuffled a non-token creature into their library this way reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card, and they put that card on the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of their library in random order. That's not a good board wipe, to my opinion. We're trying to get a bunch of stuff, and if we're just losing our auras, I don't want to do that. 7 mana is expensive just to shuffle stuff away. And you could be essentially helping your opponent get better stuff than they already had.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The other one is Primeval Protector. Primeval Protector is 10 and a green for a 10/10 creature avatar. Now, it does say its spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature your opponents control, which it could be a lot. And it also enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Sorry. It also says when it enters, you can put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control, which is what we want to do. We want to put counters on stuff, but for essentially 11 mana, no thanks.
True. I mean, there's those fucking perfect worlds where this costs 1, but hey.
That means your opponent is winning,
like you're getting
by a lot.
stomped.
Yeah. This is because it only comes in less for your opponents. So
Yeah.
if your opponent has 10 creatures, like, I don't want that. The other one we're getting rid of is Spearbreaker Behemoth. Spearbreaker Behemoth is 5 and 2 green for a 5/5 creature beast indestructible. You can pay 1 target creature with power 5 or greater gains indestructible end of turn. For 7 mana, I want it to do something more.
I'll
It's
say
kind
it
of just
seems
meh.
good, just expensive though.
It's yeah. I mean, 7 mana gets on the field, an additional, so 8 mana
Yeah.
to give something that has power 5 or greater indestructible. It's just a
Yeah.
lot.
It'll protect itself, but shit, that's a lot of mana.
I mean, it's got indestructible already,
Oh,
so
never mind. I'm dumb.
it's it. I don't know. It just
Expensive card, dude. Expensive
expensive
card.
card needs to go. The last card I'm getting rid of is Walking Skyscraper. Walking Skyscraper is just 8 generic mana for an 8/8 artifact creature construct. It says the spell costs 1 less to cast for each modified creature you control, which is what we want to do. It also has Trample, and it says it has Hexproof as long as it's untapped. So once you swing in with this, it no longer has Hexproof.
Yeah.
And again, as I know we want to do the modified thing, but if you have this as the first draw from your opening hand, it's not good.
Yeah. It also seems like it's a win more card. Like you're probably, it's cheaper because you have all these things on the field. Probably already winning, right?
Exactly. It's it's not needed. All 4 of these cards are just too expensive. We got to cut them.
Getting some walking ballista vibes though, but yeah, got them. What else we got?
This next category, I just kind of got just like a no thank you. The first one is Goblin Raze Runners. Goblin Raze Runners is 2 and 2 red for a 3/4. You can pay 1 and a red to sacrifice a land to put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It says at the beginning of your end step, you may have Goblin Raze Runners deal damage equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on it to target player or planeswalker. I am never in a world where I just want to sack a land.
I mean, yeah, dude, just start nuking your shit.
Just start sacking your lands to get counters on just this one card.
Who
No,
needs
thank
it?
you. Doesn't seem good. The next one is Tawashi Guidebot. Tawashi Guidebot is 4 generic mana for a 2/1 artifact creature construct. Says it enters the battlefield. You can put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. You also can pay 4 and tap this to draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each modified creature you control. It's a lot of setup to draw a card.
I mean,
There's
it's weird.
There's just a lot better card draw you can do.
It's not only for card drop, it's also to start giving yourself modified creatures, but yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, so
I feel it.
you can't draw a card because it's sick immediately either,
Right.
unless you had a way to give it haste. So Tawashi Guidebot, you're coming out. The other card is Hunter's Insight. Now, my name is Hunter, but I'm not a fan of this card.
Yep.
This is 2 and a green for an instant. Choose target creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw that many cards. This card isn't just... I don't know. I just didn't like this card. This is just a no thank you.
Yeah.
It just... I mean, 3 mana, you can draw maybe some cards. I don't know. We're putting better stuff in the deck. It was just a no thank you.
All right. Well, I'm seeing we even got more. What else we cutting?
Yeah, these ones could be better. This first one is Vastwood Surge. Vastwood Surge is 3 and a green for a sorcery. It's got a kicker of 4. And then you can search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tap, and shuffle. If it was kicked, you can put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for 8 mana to get the kicker, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I think we
see
can.
it. The theme is like, oh, we're gonna make everything modified, but that's really expensive to do so.
Yeah, we're gonna do it better. You'll see the cards that I'm adding
Oh,
in.
better,
You'll be
dude.
like, oh, okay. We're gonna really emphasize because our commander gives counters too. So also, I'm getting rid of Shifting Shadow. Shifting Shadow is 2 and a red for an enchantment aura. It says enchant creature, and enchanted creature has haste, and at the beginning of your upkeep, destroy this creature. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card on the battlefield and attach Shifting Shadow to it. Then put all other cards revealed this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. I'm not a big fan of just killing my creatures every turn.
Yeah.
So this does trigger our commander, but again, I kind of want some blockers. I know it's at the beginning of your upkeep they die, but man, it would suck to see a card you need go away. Another one I'm getting rid of is Chain Reaction. I think this might be one of my least favorite, quote, removal spells. Chain Reaction is 2 and 2 red for a sorcery. It says it deals X damage to each creature where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield.
Yeah.
This could definitely whiff pretty hard, especially if your opponents have giant creatures.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It blows up a lot of the little 1/1s, maybe. But
Maybe, hopefully.
hopefully. But
All right.
that's it.
And then you had to make some more room. So what else is taken out here?
Yeah, and then that's the last category. I just had to make some room for the things that I added. So these are kind of on the fence of things being removed. The first one is Ulasht, the Hate Seed. Ulasht is 2, a red and a green for a 0/0 legendary creature, Hellion Hydra. It says it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other red creature you control, and a +1/+1 counter on it for each other green creature you control. You can also pay 1 to remove a +1/+1 counter from Ulasht to choose 1. You can either have it deal 1 damage to a target creature, or create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token.
That's a
That
bummer.
one's
That is
just
pretty good.
it is good by itself, but we're trying to go for a go wider strategy. So this is kind of just very selfish in terms of we just I mean it paired with our commander, it does replenish those 1/1 counters so you can do more stuff. But you still have to pay 1 to remove a counter, and it only does 1 damage. Or just make a 1/1.
Or a token.
Exactly, just a 1/1. The other one we're getting rid of is Elemental Mastery. Elemental Mastery is 3 and a red for an aura. It says enchant creature. Enchanted creature has tap. Create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste, where X is this creature's power. Exile them at the beginning of your next end step. 1/1s are just 1/1s. Most of the time, your opponent's just going to block them, unless you make a ton of them. But they do disappear at the beginning of your next end step. So
Yeah.
it's not like you get to keep them. The other one is Ordeal of Nylea. Ordeal of Nylea is 1 and green for an aura. It says enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then, if it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, sacrifice Ordeal of Nylea. When you sacrifice Ordeal of Nylea, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. This card is a lot to do, a lot of setup.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. Like you enchant your creature, it does nothing until your creature starts attacking. And then once it has 3 counters on it, then you can sacrifice this to go get some lands. It's just a timed aura that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah. Feel it.
And then the last card that I struggle to get rid of this. This is Sword of Vengeance. Sword of Vengeance is 3 generic mana for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has first strike, vigilance, trample, and haste. Equip cost of 3. It was a tough one to get rid of.
That's
But
a lot of shit, dude.
I know, but I wanted to add some cooler stuff.
And juicers.
Much juicy.
Much juicy. All right. And then touching the land at all, or what's going on here?
Yeah, so lands I'm getting rid of. Popped up on the screen right now. Mossfire Valley, a forest, and 2 mountains. Why am I getting rid of Mossfire Valley, you might ask? Because Wizards accidentally printed 2 of these and put it in the deck.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Wizards put 2 Mossfire Valleys in the deck. So you have to get rid of 1.
What? Seems like a big whoops for that's weird. Okay.
I know they said originally that if you want to play with this deck, you have to take out the other Mossfire Valley because it's Commander, you can only have one named card per deck. But that's not basic land, basically. However, they originally said it was an additional basic land. The truth came out, and it was actually supposed to be a Nissa Planeswalker. So that was a pretty big mess up on their part.
I'd say so.
But yeah, those are the lands that I want to take out of the deck. So
Word. Well, we went through a shit ton of removal. You need to talk about now some cool additions or what, dude?
absolutely. So the additions, we're going to talk about some dope new cards I really like. The first one, we're talking about Lizard Blades. Lizard Blades is 1 and a red for a 1/1 artifact creature equipment lizard. So it hits that equipment clause. It's got double strike. Equipped creature has double strike, and it has a reconfigure cost of 2. So if just throw this on and it makes something modified.
Comes down as a double striker. Turns something bigger into a double striker. Seems good.
Exactly. Same thing goes with Rabbit Battery. Rabbit Battery is 1 red mana for a 1/1 artifact creature, equipment rabbit. It has haste. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has haste. Its reconfigure cost of 1 red. Also,
That's really
amazing in
good.
this deck.
That's really good, yeah.
The other cards, we have Thundering Raiju. Thundering Raiju is 2 and 2 red for a 3/3 creature spirit with haste. It says whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then Thundering Raiju deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control other than Thundering Raiju. The synergy is
Yeah, remember
amazing.
this card is an all-star.
I love that card. And finally, another card we're adding from the new set is Kodama of the West Tree. Kodama of the West Tree is 2 and a green for a 3/3 legendary creature spirit. It has reach. It says modified creatures you control have trample. And whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle.
Seems really, really good.
Seems really good in this deck, right?
Yeah.
That's right, buddy.
I like that, dude. So what else we got going on in here? Show me more.
All right, dude. Well, I'm throwing in living weapons because living weapons, the way they work, not only do they come in as an equipment and make our commander trigger because it's an equipment card, they come in attached to something which counts as a modified creature. So it's like
2-for-1, dude. Let's go.
2 for 1, exactly. So the first one, Nettle Cyst. Nettle Cyst is 3 generic mana for an artifact equipment. Living Weapon means this comes in attached to a 0/0 black Phyrexian Germ token. It says equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. Equipped cost of 2. So again, we've got auras, we've got other equipments coming in. This is perfect. Batterskull. Batterskull is an all-star. It always has been. It is 5 generic mana for an artifact, equipment, living weapon. Again, it comes in attached to a 0/0 black germ. Equipped creature gets +4/+4 and has vigilance and lifelink. You can pay 3 to return Batterskull to its owner's hand. Equipped cost of 5. So you can continue to play this. Bring it back to your hand, play it again. Bring it back to your hand, play it again. Get those triggers on your commander.
Yeah, Batterskull's nuts, dude.
It really is. And then this final one, which is somehow only 22 cents. This is Scytheclaw. Scytheclaw is 5 generic mana, artifact equipment, living weapon. Again, comes in attached to a 0/0 black germ. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up. Equipped cost of 3.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty simple. Really doing some damage there. And again, all these just trigger our commander not only once, but the second trigger as well.
Yeah, that's pretty bonkers, dude. I like these. What else we got going on?
So counters do matter in this deck, right? So we got some stuff that cares about counters. The first one, Incubation Druid. Incubation Druid is 1 and a green for a 0/2 creature elf druid. You can tap it to add 1 mana of any type that a land you control could produce. If Incubation Druid has a +1/+1 counter on it, add 3 mana of that type instead. You also pay 3 and 2 green for an Adapt 3. which means if this creature has no +1/+1 counter as it, put 3 +1/+1 counter on it. So pretty good mana rock, little mana dork, I mean. Fits perfectly with our counter theme.
That card's awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm. Another one is Renata, Call to the Hunt. Renata, Call to the Hunt is 2 and 2 green for a star 3 legendary enchantment creature demigod. Its power is equal to your devotion to green, and it says each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So all your creatures now come in with at least a counter. So they're automatically modified.
Seems good.
And of course, these last two cards are essential in every counter deck, I would say. This one is Hardened Scales. Hardened Scales is 1 green for an enchantment. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, put that many +1 +1/+1 counters are put on it instead. So your commander triggers now giving everybody 2 +1/+1 counters.
Can't go wrong with that, man.
Can't go wrong with that. And finally, the Ozolith. Let's say your creatures die. You need the Ozolith. The Ozolith costs 1 generic mana, legendary artifact. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you may move all the counters from the Ozolith onto a target creature. So
Okay.
just move the counters back to a creature that you lost.
You're just recycling, dude. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else?
All right, so last couple of cards here. I'm adding in a few extras. These two are really old enchantments, as you can tell by the art right off the top.
I love
The
it.
first one is Crown of Flames. Crown of Flames is just 1 red mana. You can enchant a creature. You can pay 1 for enchanted creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And you can also pay 1 red to return Crown of Flames to its owner's hand. So if you want to get that trigger going, making some little tokens from your commander by playing enchantments, auras, this counts as an aura. So just keep bringing it back to your hand, playing again, bring it back to your hand, playing again.
Yeah.
The other one is Whip Silk, same kind of thing. Whip Silk is 1 green for an enchantment. You just enchant a creature. Enchanted creature may block as though it has flying, so basically it has reach. And you can pay 1 green to return it to its owner's hand. Same thing. Play it, return it, play it, return it, play it, return it. Get those triggers going.
That seems really good.
And finally, one of the better equipments that they've printed in the last couple of sets is Ember Cleave. Ember Cleave is 4 and 2 red for a legendary artifact equipment. It's got flash. It costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. When Ember Cleave enters the battlefield, attach it to the target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample. Equip cost of 3.
This card is a menace, dude. Jesus Christ.
It really is. So swing in with all your stuff. You flash this in, give it to whatever you're swinging in with that they didn't block. Give it double strike and trample. And then it also triggers your commander as well. So
Yeah, that's nuts. Nuts, dude. All right. So, do you have any combos in this deck, bud? Because I love combos.
you and I are not the biggest combo guys, but this combo is too good. It fits on theme with our commander not to put in the deck. If you guys don't know this combo, it's Godo, Bandit Warlord, and Helma the Host. Godo, Bandit Warlord is 5 and a red for a 3/3 legendary creature human barbarian. It says, whenever Godo, Bandit Warlord enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an equipment card, put it onto the battlefield. If you do, shuffle your library. So that first part triggers our commander as soon as that equipment comes in. And it says, whenever Godo attacks for the first time each turn, untap it in all samurai you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Guess what? Commander is also a samurai.
Wow.
So pretty good. And Helma the Host. This is the card we were probably going to go and get. It costs 4 generic mana for legendary artifact equipment. It says at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of the equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary if the equipped creature is legendary. that token gains haste. Equip cost of 5. So just go ahead and equip it to Godo, and you just get multiple combats.
Do you get how does that work?
Because once you have Godo on the field, you go get Helm of the Host. Attach Helm of the Host to Godo. It creates a copy of Godo. That copy will swing, untap itself. You'll go to another combat. You'll create a new copy of Godo. Swing, untap, new combat, make a copy, swing, untap, and over and over and over. You've got unlimited Godos. So
11 mana to win the game, dude.
11 mana, you win the game. Very easy.
You better hope that no one has any removal.
Yeah, that would suck. I mean, that would definitely stop your unlimitedness, but that's the way to win the game.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, it's not a full dumb David combo where the only way to interact with it was like a counterspell. This is just turning sideways and beating face, dude.
Exactly. A combo about attacking.
Perfect.
Especially if you're putting the pants on, let's say, your commander, and he's got a huge attack trigger. You can probably kill your opponent very quickly with commander damage.
That's just not nice.
It isn't nice, but it does the trick.
Fucking Godo, dude. All right, well.
Godo and Helm of the Host, man.
That's all cool, dude. I'm already not liking this if you play this. So I know you took out some lands, dude. What are the lands you're gonna replace with those, buddy?
Yeah, so the lands I'm replacing, I'm putting in Stomping Ground, Rootbound Crag, and the Crag Crown Pathway. They all just tap for a red or a green.
Yeah,
and also
good.
Also Karn's Bastion. We are a counter deck, so having something that can proliferate is also pretty good.
Yeah, I can see that.
So those are the lands that I'm replacing. Yep.
So your goal was under 100. What did you get to?
So if you add up every single card that I added into this deck, we are at a total of $94.71. So just shy of the $100 mark. So go out, take your $100. If you want to build a really cool deck, I say go ahead and try this. The whole deck list is in the description down below on Moxfield if you wanted to check it out.
Awesome, dude. Well, thanks for that. Are you working on your $300 list? You better be, right?
Yep, $300 lists are still coming in both this one and the vehicle deck.
Glad to hear that, man.
Be on the lookout for those. I know.
Yeah. Well, with that, thank you very much. I got to remember to say the thing with the whole follow us on Instagram, Twitter, like this video, make a comment, share it with your grandma. What else I got to say?
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
That's a big one.
That is a big one. We're almost at 1,000 subs. Help us out.
We'll make a video. We'll do a giveaway or something cool. I don't know. Fuck.
All right, let's do a giveaway.
We haven't done one in a long time, dude. Let's give.
As soon as we hit 1,000, we'll make a giveaway video.
We'll give away a box or something.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Tease the audience.
Sorry. Well, until next time, we're Guys That Magic. Take it easy, guys.
Peace.